the 4th of April 2022. You welcome to Ghana Radio News at 6. I am Deliverance Ashebi and I'm here with
Ahianyo Bless Ayram.
In our news headlines, in the Volta region, Ho Chito passengers flee for their lives as Metro Mass Transit catch fire.
Mr. Afenyo Markin charges TESCON members that their hard work today will take them to the promised land tomorrow.
And in business, Mobile Money Agents Association educates customers on the e-levy.
Akufo-Addo back to cyber crime lifestyle after private jets.
This and many more stories we have for you if you stay with us in the next 30 minutes. Into our first story, passengers flee for their lives when a Metro Mass Transit bus caught fire on the Ho Chito Road. The intercity bus that was conveying passengers from Kumasi to Ho catch fire a few minutes after takeoff. According to sources, the bus developed some mechanical faults, causing the front spark of the vehicle to spark fire. More than 20 passengers escaped unhurt as smoke takes over. The incident was happening as they were disembarking, but all of them came out unhurt, as also told Adom News. Although firefighters rushed to the scene to control the fire, but the bus was burnt beyond repairs. The cause of the fire is yet to be established. The issue of road fires has been prevalent in the first quarter of the year. 2 of such major fires were recorded in the previous month. Into our next story, where the Member of Parliament for Tamale North says, focus on reforming your recruitment process and get it right. He charges the Ghana Police Services. Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Alhansa Suini, has charged the Ghana Police Service to focus on training its recruitment processes and ensure it is done right. The process of recruiting officers in the service has become a matter of concern, especially after some officers were implicated in the series of bullion van robberies in the country. In the past weekend, a man alleged to be a police officer was arrested after brandishing and threatening motorists with a gun. In reaction, Alhansi has proposed to the Ghana Police Service to take a critical look at reforming the recruitment processes. We have to first of all tackle the issue of recruitment, get the recruitment right. The second thing is in-service training. After the recruitment, what is the nature of training given to them to remind them of the code? And then we can now do what is next. And into our next story. E-levy financial literacy of people doing Momo is low. Government may not reach its targets. Professor Lord Mensah, Associate Professor at the Department of Finance of the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Lord Mensah, has indicated that it is highly likely government will not reach its target set for the electronic transaction levy, that is the e-levy. According to him, people's understanding of how the controversial levy will work is very low. As a result, he fears the revenue target will be difficult to reach for the ruling New Patriotic Party, that is the NPP government. We need to understand that the financial space thrives on information. The financial literacy of the people doing Momo is very low. Government may not be able to hit its targets if people still do not understand the e-levy operation, Professor Lord Mensah said in an engagement on the GTV Breakfast Show on Monday, the 4th of April 2022. In the view of the UGBS Associate Professor, it is problematic to have the impression that e-levy is going to affect all transactions. He proposes that government needs to invest in educating the public for people to know that panic withdrawal after the passage of the electronic transaction bill into law are needless. The government needs to invest more in education. The panic withdrawal is not necessary. The President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, last weekend assented the e-levy bill into law. Ahead of its implementation in May, the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunication has reported massive panic withdrawals across the country. This is very common among Ghanaians who do not subscribe to the taxation of Momo and other financial transactions that would be affected by the e-levy. Up next is political news.
In the world of politics, the Member of Parliament for Efutu constituency, Alexander Kwamena Apenyo Markin, has fired up the members of the Tertiary Student Confederation, TESCON, of the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP, to work harder to maintain the party in power for tangible rewards in future. Addressing the University of Education Winneba branch of TESCON during their homecoming and freshers orientation program, the deputy majority leader said the Efutu Member of Parliament encouraged the students to be focused, work hard towards achieving their dreams, not yield to obstacles that may come their ways, as perseverance is the key to success in life. He also recounted how not giving up as a young politician has paid off in his political career. He encouraged the students to work hard for the party. Mr. Apenyo Markin also urged the members to continue working hard for the party to ensure that the dreaded 8 years jinx would be broken. In another story, the Member of Parliament for North Town Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa has once again accused Dankwa Akufo-Addo of chartering luxurious jets for his recent trips outside the country. According to Mr. Ablakwa, the president in his trip to the United States and the United Kingdom boarded the LXDO, which now rents as $18,000 an hour. In a Facebook post on April 3rd, the Member of Parliament for North Town stated that the president had deceived Ghanaians after he was applauded for going commercial during his Dubai trip. On March 8, 2022, Modern Ghana News reported that the president had boarded a commercial flight to Dubai. He was commended by Okudzeto Ablakwa for finally listening to Ghanaians. Coming up is business news.
It's still Ghana news at 6, and let's do some business here where Mobile Money Agent Association educates members, customers on the e-levy. Mobile Money Agents Association has begun educating its members across the country on the newly introduced tax electronic transfer levy, the General Secretary of the association, Evans Otunfo, has said. According to him, mobile agents will pass on the knowledge across to customers who do not understand how the e-levy works to prevent panic withdrawals. Speaking in an interview with Joy News on Saturday, April 2nd, 2022, Evans Otunfo noted that, first of all, educating our members across the country as to the areas that the e-levy will not be covering and that the e-levy will be covering, so that indirectly we'll be using our various members as a tool to educate the general public, he said. Into our last business news, mobile money operators have threatened to stage a demonstration to amplify the fear of losing their capital after the passage of the e-levy into law. According to the group, their businesses are run on loans which will negatively impact by the implementation of the e-levy, assented by the President of the Republic of Ghana a few days ago. National President of the Mobile Money Agents Association, Dela Abochi, said about 150,000 agents are likely to go out of the business when the e-levy finally becomes operational in May 2022. Mr. Abochi, who spoke with Doreen Ampofo, said the association will meet to deliberate on the next line of action. Up next is health news.
In health, the Tema Polyclinic recorded a total of 106 positive cases of HIV infections in 2021, making it an average of about 9 infections monthly, which calls for intensification of public education on the preventive protocols. In January this year, 10 positive cases were recorded. Nana Techiwa from Poma II, the principal of midwifery officer in charge of the antiretroviral therapy, that's ART, and sexual transfer, said the 10 recorded in January this year included 2 teenagers and 1 pregnant woman. The principal midwifery officer explained that in an extremely rare case, apart from sex, HIV-affected blood deposited on the toothbrush or razor can also serve as means of transmission. Into our last health news. The Ghana National Chamber of Pharmacy has threatened legal action against health facilities owning companies that supply them drugs and consumables. The chamber laments that areas owned these pharmaceutical firms are running their businesses. Speaking to City News, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Chamber of Pharmacy, Anthony Ameka, said they have also resolved to slap a 1% interest rate on the debt were owed. The Chamber of Pharmacy has over the years expressed concerns over non-payment of debt owed them. The chamber had blamed the high cost of medication in the country on the inability of the National Health Insurance Authority (NHIA) to pay them. It had threatened to cut supplies to hospitals over delayed National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS) payment. Coming up is entertainment news.
Welcome to the entertainment segment. Our headlines. Vote NPP out if they fail to account for the e-levy methodology to Ghanaians. Accra High Court rules in the favor of Odante Lamptey, wins his East Legon mansion back from his ex-wife. I'm disappointed in Bawumia, Abeikun Santana. The stories in detail. Mr. Logic, a controversial radio and TV personality, urged Ghanaians should vote out the NPP for not accounting for the e-levy. On Saturday, United Showbase on UTV, he warned viewers that if a government fails to deliver on its promises, they may be disposed. Mr. Logic believed that the passing of the e-levy is a good thing since the world is turning cashless. So Ghanaians should respect the new tax system and stop fighting. Stop mourning about the levy and start being responsible, he urged. Moving away from that story, former Black Star player Odante Lamptey has won the suit against his ex-wife as an Accra High Court grants him custody of his East Legon mansion. The court finally reversed an earlier decision that gave Mr. Lamptey's mansion at East Legon to his ex-wife as they fought over the property in their divorce settlement, which has spanned over 3 years. According to multiple sources, the judgment takes effect from tomorrow, 5th April 2022. Into our last story. Popular media personality Abeikun Santana has expressed disappointment in the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, for the making a case in the support of the implementation of the electronic transfer e-levy bill. It could be recalled that in an interview with Sometimes in the August 2020, Dr. Mahmoud remarked, I don't think mobile money should be taxed because most of the people have 1.5% tax on all electronic and mobile money transfer.